So what we're going to do is we're going to make a brand new tab. See this plus button at the bottom? You're going to make a new, brand new plus sign right here. You're going to press that. Okay? Go ahead and press on that. It's going to make a brand new sheet. I'm going to try to make this like go to the top of the screen so people in the back can see better. It's not perfectly easy to do that, so just give me a second. I'm going to, oh, that's not what I wanted. I want top half like that, basically. All right. Then I want to hide my toolbar, my bookmark bar, hide bookmark bar. It won't let me. Okay, that's fine. On this sheet, we're going to call this sheet expenses. Expenses. What are the bills you're going to end up paying for? I would like to start not with housing, but I'd like to start with the very first thing you're going to pay for once you are kicked out or on your own or however that's going to happen. Okay, I don't know how that's going to happen because I don't know your household. Some households used to be as soon as you were 18 and graduated from high school, goodbye, you've got 2 months and you have to go. Clearly, different households are different. Some are like just stay until as long as you want, stay until you're 26 or whatever. Okay, so what are we going to start with? We're going to start with food. Okay, so let's write expenses on here. Let's go skip a line and type food down here. Of course, you got to have food. Probably the first thing you're going to be responsible for on your own is food. If you imagine somebody that has nothing at all, they're living out of their car or on the street, their number one priority is to get food. Okay, so what kind of food expenses are you going to have? Well, the first ones you're going to have is groceries, right? Okay, you're going to go to the corner store, you're going to go to the Aldi, you're going to go to the Save-A-Lot, you're going to go to the Meijer, whatever. You're going to buy yourself some groceries. So let's put the, let's say we're going to do this per paycheck. Paychecks come mostly every 2 weeks. And let's say just for a guess, for one person, your paycheck groceries are $200. Okay, maybe that's high, maybe that's low. We're just putting some basic numbers in. Okay? I like how I see you working on that. Okay. Other food. That is not the only food you're going to buy, clearly, because at least once in a while you're going to want to go to a restaurant. Okay? I don't care whether it's Taco Bell or you're buying a cheesy bean and rice burrito for $1 with 6 cents tax, or if you are going to a fancy restaurant where you're paying $20, $30, $40, $50 for your meal. So restaurants, let's just put in a guess of $50 for your initial expenses. Okay, is that the only food you're buying? No. You're also going to go to events. Suppose you go to the movie theater. Suppose you're walking downtown around the some festival downtown. You're going to want to spend a little bit of money on that per paycheck. Maybe that's only $20 per paycheck. Obviously, if you have a kid, you're going to want to double this. And we're going to talk about children very soon. I don't know if it'll be Tuesday or Thursday or Friday, but we're going to talk about what sort of expenses come with that. It's a long list. As a parent, I can tell you that. Okay. Next one is habituals. We're going to put that in here. I spelled it wrong. Habituals. Okay. Now I'm gonna give a little description about what this is. So to the right on column C, let's write down a few words that would go with habituals. Drinks, snacks, vapes, smokes, anything you consume like that, etc. We're just going to put that in food because we need to put it somewhere on our spreadsheet. Let's say it's just a fountain drink once a week, so that's like $5. That's probably not realistic, right? Okay? But these are the things you are consuming with your body on a daily, weekly, paycheck basis. Okay, let's add up how much that adds up to. So we're going to call that a subtotal. It's not our total, it's our subtotal. It's a total, a temporary total. We're just going to have the computer add up these numbers here to see how much per paycheck we're going to need to put into that. Okay, so you put an equal sign. The equal sign is how you start a formula. Then you put SUM. It's already there, so you can just press enter if you want to. But it should say sum, add up whatever number's in B4 all the way to whatever's in B7. Okay? Now some of these, you probably could already put numbers for yourself in here. In your household, if you are already paying some groceries, if you're already paying restaurants, DoorDash, Instacart, whatever, if you're going to festivals, if you have any habituals, vaping, smoking, it could be legal or illegal, whatever, I put everything in there for substances. Drinks, snacks, Monster soda, Takis, chocolate bars, anything that you get at the corner store when you walk by that is consumed quickly by yourself. Things that you buy for your friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, family, whatever, put all that in there. Okay? Are there any questions on what we put in that group of expenses? Those are the ones that are most susceptible to your chimp brain if you go in with people and you're trying to get social interaction because of the food you're buying. This one's also mouse brain. Mouse brain is about habits and trying to do the same thing again and again and again and having a cue, which is seeing the store or seeing the product. To a lesser extent, lizard brain. I mean, none of us is starving to death. I mean, none of us are below 50 pounds. So I know none of us are starving to death. So, all right. What do you think would be the next kind of expense you would have? You're moving out on your own. You're getting your own place. Well, you're just moving out. What would be the next expense you would think? You got to take care of food first, right? Housing? Okay. Would it be that first or like personal care, clothing, and those sorts of things? Say it again. Somewhere to lay your head. All right. Let's go to housing next then. Housing. So notice we're going to put this in all caps. This is our title. Now some of these I listed on the board here, so we're going to be kind of summarizing some of these, putting them into groups, because we don't want to see a whole list of every single expense on our spreadsheet. So first, we've got insurance. Home or apartment. You have to have insurance, otherwise they will not let you have the home or the apartment. Okay, one way or another you're paying for the insurance, whether it's part of your rent, whether you have it separate. Same thing with the mortgage, whether it's part of your mortgage or you have to pay it separately, you've got insurance. They're not going to let you have a place unless you have insurance. The next thing you're going to have is either for a house, you're going to have a mortgage payment, or you're going to have rent. All right, let's put in some numbers here. I would think the least I've heard for rent is a person in this building who rents one room in a house. They rent one room, they have access to the kitchen, they have access to the house. They're paying $600 a month. Now I think that's incredibly low. That's if you have a roommate or two, right? That's not somebody living on their own in an apartment. I searched for apartments like 2 months ago in Grand Rapids. The least expensive one I could find was downtown. I think it was $1,050 a month, but you had to sign a 1-year agreement. And you have to pay 2 months first. So you have to pay $1,050 plus $1,050 just to get the place. So you had to pay $2,100 just to get in the place. And then every month after that, another $1,050. And if you don't pay it, they'll kick you out. Okay, so let's see. Insurance, let's say it's $100 a month. We'll just throw that in as a sample number. Okay, property tax. Let's put on monthly on this because I've switched to monthly. You don't usually pay this per paycheck. Property tax. I think mine was like $3,000 for a year, so you divide that by 12. 3,000, 3 months is 1,000, 333, about $300 a month, something like that. You get a tax bill twice a year. One tax bill's smaller, one tax bill's bigger. If you have a second home, the tax bill's even bigger, because you get a discount, so to speak, on your first home. It's not really a discount, but. Say it again. First-time buyers? Say it really loud so I can hear you.
Is that what you're talking about, the first-time buyers for housing?
No, what I'm talking about is if you try to get your place, right? They're going to have you pay that month's rent, plus they're going to say you pay your first month's rent and your last month's rent. Or they're going to say security deposit, however they're going to say it. But if it's $600 a month, they're going to ask for twice that before you can even move in. Okay, they always do. Or they might even ask for more than that. Okay?
There's a loan called an FHA loan that you only can use if you use it as your first-time homeowner loan.
Yeah. We're going to talk about loans and debt more, of course. Okay, association dues. If you are in a house in a neighborhood, you might also have association dues, and the association dues will be like to cut the grass around the building, like the clubhouse or whatever. That is going to depend, right, on the property. So whether it's a house or a rental, if it's a condo or not a condo, we can talk about all that stuff. Let's just put in 0 for now for that, even though it's generally not 0. Actually, you could just put in what my association dues are. We just have plowing at my house. So we all have to put money into the plowing. We put in $130 a year. Divide that by 12. That's about $10 per month. So even something as simple as plowing, you're going to have some sort of dues or something to the group. All right, home maintenance. I always spell maintenance wrong, so hopefully I got it right. Home maintenance fund, if you have a house, again, the roof is going to cost you $30,000. You've got to replace the roof every 30 years, so that's $1,000 a year you should be saving up. Divide that by 12. That's about $100 a month you should be saving up for the house just getting older. It's entropy. Apartment, you don't have to pay that. Woohoo! Either that or it's included in the rent.
Yeah, this is
Usually that's why old apartment buildings look so nasty, is because the landlord has not been setting aside money to keep them refreshed and stuff. Whereas a homeowner, I mean, they live there, and when people look at their house, they're going to be like, this person lives in the dump, or this person lives in a nice house. Nobody wants anybody to say that they live in a dump, so they put a little money into their house every year. They paint, they refresh, they do the lawn, all these various things. So home maintenance fund is another expense. Let's see. Separate from that is just monthly upkeep. So what would be in monthly upkeep? Just basic things like snow removal, raking, minor painting, just like minor repairs, right? Okay, so let's just say that's $50 a month on average. So having your own place, a house that you actually are trying to own because you got this mortgage that you're stuck in for 30 years, it adds up. So let's make a subtotal. Subtotal, and this is a monthly subtotal. I really like how you're following along. If I go too fast, just yell out that I'm going too fast, because I don't have your on my screen at the moment. Okay, it should say sum of B11 through B16. It's just going to add up those numbers. So about $1,200 a month. Okay. again, we're focusing, this is mostly focusing on buying a house, however you want to put it, renting a house, not renting a house, going into debt to eventually own the house, a mortgage, okay? If you're renting, of course, most of that is already included in the rent. And that's why rents are probably around $1,200 for a one-bedroom apartment right now in Grand Rapids, because all those fees have to be kind of included in there. The landlord has to pay the mortgage on the building, they have to pay the property taxes, they have to pay the association dues, they have to pay for home maintenance funds, they have to pay for monthly upkeep. You just see one number, which is the rental amount, okay? Okay, now with that, you have some wonderful things called utilities. So let's put in utilities. Okay, what are you going to pay for? Well, depends on the apartment.
Sometimes the apartment has utilities included.
Say it louder.
Sometimes the apartment has utilities included.
Sometimes it does. That's like a bonus, right? That's like a bonus. Again, we're talking more about, it depends. I've had, how many apartments have I had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6. My first apartment was when I was at University of Michigan. I was renting with a house with 9 people in it. Before that, I was at the fraternity house. I was renting a room. Before that, I was in the dormitory. I was renting a room 2 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The summer after I graduated from university, I rented a different apartment. That's 5. Muskegon 6. South Haven 7. Stevensville 8. Cutlerville, not Cutlerville, 28th Street 9. Cutlerville 10. So I've rented 10 different places over the years. Some of them they require you to pay for the water bill. Most of them don't. Some of them do. But if you have a house, you have to pay the water bill, you have to pay the sewer bill. You have to pay both. Okay, let's just put in, let's say it's low. Let's say it's $40 a month. Probably not. Heat. In most cases, you got to pay for heat. You either got propane, or you got natural gas. I'm just going to write NG. Or you've got wood. I suppose you could burn wood. That's what my parents did when I was little. And let's say that's, again, small. Let's say it's $50 a month for heat. Some apartments will include heat. Some apartments won't include heat. That also includes your, if you have a range, a stove that has fire in it, that would include the same thing, right? That would be your gas bill. Everybody has electric bills. How else would you charge your phones and turn on your lights and stuff? Electricity. I'm missing a letter.
Oh, it's spelled wrong.
Yep. How's that? Better? Okay.
Yes.
Electricity, you could talk with whoever, wherever you live, you could say, hey, what's the electric bill here? And I'm just going to say mom. So you talk to mom, you say, hey, what's the electric bill here? And she might say, well, it's 30 in the winter. In the summer, we got the air conditioning running, so it's like 100 in the winter, or in the summer. So electricity includes air conditioning as well. So if you run the air conditioning in the summer, it costs a lot because that's all electricity. You got garbage and recycling. If your apartment already covers that, that's amazing. Like if they have a bin and you just put your stuff in the bin, that's included in your rent. You've already paid for it, so woohoo, good for you. You're lucky. For a person that has to actually pay for garbage recycling, I think I pay $50 a month, something like that. I'd have to check my bill. I'm late on my bill. I have to call them up and give them my credit card number. Okay, last one. Let's just call this other, like water, softener, salt. We'll just put that as 10 for the moment. Okay, there's some other ones that go with the house that in order to have that house, you have to pay for them on a monthly basis or a semi-monthly basis. So let's add it up. Let's see how much our utilities are altogether. Same thing as we did before. We'll make a subtotal. And so again, you press equal it should automatically suggest that you're adding B20 through B24. You press enter, it'll add it up. Okay, again, if you're renting, some of these will be paid for. In your rental agreement, it will say which ones are paid for. It'll say whether water, sewer's paid for, heat, electricity, garbage, other. When I was in Cutlerville, I think we had to pay our own electric. We did not have to pay our heat. We did not have to pay our trash. We did have to pay phone, but that was back when phone came into the house. We had to pay our own cable. That's when cable came to the house. Some places will give you free cable, free Wi-Fi. I didn't even put that on here. I got that on a different category, communication. But electric, pretty much you're going to always pay your own electric bill. I mean, if you're able to find a place that doesn't charge you electric, that's great. But usually you're going to pay electric. Usually you're going to pay heat. Those two for sure. Water, a lot of times apartments will be included. Sewer, garbage. Yeah. That's all in your rental agreement. You got to read that thing. You got to put it into Gemini and say, what am I paying for? And then it'll tell you, or you got to read through it carefully. Okay, so what have we got so far? Let's bold our big answers. We can change this to bold, which is big black letters, by pressing the B here, or doing Control and then the letter B. So if you do Control and then the letter B, it'll make it bold. It just stands out a little bit more. Or you can press the letter B right there, that'll make it bold. Go ahead and use your arrow to go up to line 17 and make that bold. That was your total cost. And then let's go up a little bit higher. Let's fix our numbers for the food. So I said per paycheck. Let's change it to monthly. Okay, let's just say you can get away with $300 a month for food, for groceries, $75 for restaurants, and DoorDash, and not Instacart. What else is the delivery one? DoorDash, what else? Grubhub. What else? For Breeze?
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, yeah. Okay, so we're going to put those in here also. Uber Eats, Grubhub. What was the other one? DoorDash?
Yes.
Okay, you got takeaway. You got sit down. Sit down, of course, you also have to pay the server because she doesn't get paid, he doesn't get paid, except for your tips. They get paid $3 an hour, plus tips. So you got to tip them. If you don't tip them, they're stuck with they're not actually paid $3 an hour, although it depends on the boss. They get paid like $9 an hour. If they don't make enough tips, they get like $9 an hour. Supposedly, that's the way it's supposed to work. Now, whether that works with every boss, I don't know. Okay, events, festivals, let's say it's $30. That could be one time going to taking son or daughter to the movie, right? You take son or daughter to the movie, she's 4 or 5 years old, she wants to get the popcorn, it's $10. She wants to get the candy, that's $11. That's $21 right there. So, or you take her to the festival, you take them to the festival, same thing. Habituals, let's jump that up to at least 20. Okay, let's make that bold. Let's make a subtotal at the very top. So the very top, we're going to make like the total. Now the reason I want to put it at the top rather than bottom, a lot of people put it at the bottom, is because I want us to be able to see it easily. So we're going to make a little formula right here in B1. So make sure you're in B1, it says B1. And we're going to put a little formula there. We're just going to add up the subtotals. Now how are we going to do that? Well, we start with an equal sign. And then we just have to say what is each of the subtotals in. Okay? So that first subtotal is in B8, right? So we're going to add B8. You can actually type it in or you can click on B8. Plus B17 plus B25. Let me see if I can make that bigger so you can see that better in the back. I can make it a little bigger. Okay, so what you should have is you should have it's adding B8, that was the food, B17, that's the apartment or mortgage house, and B25, that's the expenses that go along with it. Okay, so we're up to 1,765 take home that you would need just for groceries, place to stay, and basic utilities. Okay, we better get personal care. So let's add personal care starting down at line 27. Personal care. People spend a lot of money on personal care. That's where some of you and your friends are making their money right now because they're doing nails or doing hair or they're doing henna or thinking about being a tattoo artist or whatever that happens to be. Okay. So first you've got your consumables. Consumables like toilet paper, laundry soap. Oh, maybe I should have put laundry on the utilities because that is an expense. You got to replace that washer and dryer every so often, or you got to go to the laundromat. I've done both. Okay, this is again monthly. Let's see, toilet paper, laundry soap. What else would I put in there? Let's just put $20 a month. I don't know. I guess I'll have to pay attention more closely. Personal items. So you got things like actual soap that you use on your skin. You've got toothpaste that you use on your teeth. You've got shampoo. You got all those products, etc. Let's say that's also $30 a month, just for a number to put in there. Okay, what else you got? Well, you got clothing and shoes, right? That's a huge expense for some people, especially if your weight is changing, your body size is changing when you're growing up. Of course, it's an expense. Hopefully, when you're an adult, you find a weight range and you stay within it. That way you don't have to buy new clothes. When I was in my 30s, I gained a lot of weight, like 50 pounds, so none of my mediums would fit me anymore. I had to go to large, none of the larges would fit me anymore. I had to go to XL, and then when I lost weight, all my larges were old looking, so I had to buy new larges. I went down to medium, had to buy all new mediums, which is why I desperately try to stay in my range, between 170 and 180. I weigh myself in every day, and if I get too heavy, I stop eating. Okay, anyway, clothing and shoes. Let's say that's $50 a month. That's not much, it doesn't go far. You have to go to the resale stores, you have to buy from neighbors, go to yard sales, hand-me-downs, whatever it takes. Okay, what else we got? Services. This is where you're paying someone else to do something. What are some services that you pay other people to do for you? Hair. What else? Nails. What else? Brows. Tats. Henna. What else do people pay for? Services. I'm trying to think of my body. Hair. Nails. Huh?
Lashes?
Lashes. Do people do lashes? Sure. Lashes. I was really interested when I saw this whole threading thing for eyebrows come out, where the eyebrows, you can go in and get them threaded, and then you can get them done. And I saw that in the Woodland Mall, and I was like, really? People pay for that? Yep. Okay, let's see. Hair and nails, I do like once a month. I pay $25 once a month to have her cut my hair. So for you, it might be a much larger number, right? Or maybe you do your own hair. And for some of you, especially the females, I know that you also buy hair before you even do the hair, and then that number is going to be a lot higher, right? So you got to figure out what would be like your monthly expense. Yearly, if you're going to spend $1,000 a year on your hair, and then divide that by 12, so that's like $80, $90 a month, averaging out. Okay, what else we got? I'm going to put education, lifelong education in here. Education, lifelong. In order to live in this world, you have to keep learning one way or another, whether it's online or taking classes or taking trainings or whatever it is. So let's just throw a little expense in there, even if it's just 30 bucks a month, something like that. Now clearly these numbers are going to be bigger for some of you because you already have developed certain patterns of spending money. So let's subtotal this and add it to our total at the top. And then either tomorrow or Thursday or Friday we'll continue working on this particular spreadsheet. So equal sign, it should say sum 28 through 32. We're going to press enter, that's 155. And now we've got to add that to our total at the very, very top. We've got to add B33N to our total. Let's make that bold first also. Control B or click the B button. Okay, going up to the top, expenses, which one are we supposed to add? B33. So plus B33. So you can type right into this box or type right into that box, B33. And we'll see where we're at. Almost $2,000 a month so far. What have we not included for expenses so far? Wi-Fi. We've not included Wi-Fi. What else have we not included? Childcare. What else have we not included? Cars. What else have we not included? Cell phones. What else have we not included? Medical expenses, dental expenses. We got a lot to go. Okay. All right. Please make sure your warm-up